Hi, everyone. Would love to talk with you today about another success story here at Arrowhead Talent Solutions. This example is when we worked last year with a global medical device manufacturing company, very large, publicly traded firm. They came to us because they were having significant trouble filling a plant manager or operations director position. So, very high level role, and it happened to be at their flagship plant. They came to us and said, look, we've been trying to fill this for a number of months, no success. We just don't know where else to turn. And so they came to Arrowhead. After conducting a very thorough set of intake calls with various executives in the manufacturing and human resources space who were supporting this group, Arrowhead put a plan together and we began to search extensively for the right candidate for this position. And when I tell you we left no stone unturned, believe me, we left no stone unturned in this search. We employed what we like to call a two-stage interview process as well. When we found candidates and identified them and felt they could be a potential fit, we had one person interview the candidate for at least 30 to 45 minutes, have a pretty in-depth conversation with them and review the resume of the candidate. And then if we felt they were worthy of further consideration, we had a second member of the Arrowhead team conduct about a 1 hour phone call or Skype or Zoom call with these same candidates to make sure that we had another layer of knowledge about the candidate's work style, but also their hard and soft skills. So a very in-depth and fairly formalized interview process to make sure that we had a couple different times to gauge the candidates in question. After about 2-3 weeks of searching and interviewing, we identified a slate of actually 6 candidates who we felt were worthy of further consideration by this firm. Toward the end of the search, we narrowed it down to 3 candidates, and we felt at that point the organization had many, many good options to choose from. I should also mention that this plant was, we'll just say, underperforming for an extended period of time. It was a big cause for concern for this organization, and so it was really critical to find the right person who was not only going to fit into the culture, but frankly change things a little bit and be an agent of change that the organization and this particular plant really desperately needed. So when we found that slate of candidates, we were very encouraged. The client organization was thrilled with the slate that we sent them, ended up making an offer to the top candidate, and we closed the deal almost immediately when the offer was made. We relocated this gentleman from another part of the country to this flagship plant. He, his wife, and family, and they've successfully made the trip and the relocation. He is well on his way to changing that culture and really revolutionizing not only that flagship plant, but we feel he's going to transform the larger manufacturing organization for this client company. We are so thrilled for him and his career development. We're thrilled for the client company. They feel just absolutely tickled and pleased that we identified this candidate. And we feel that we were successful because we employed a pretty robust interview process. The first one was, again, more of a general conversation, teched them out, so to speak, to determine the skill level of these candidates, whereas the second level conversation was much more of an executive to executive conversation. Things like, how would you approach this project? How do you approach your work? How do you build relationships? How do you manage teams? How do you manage performance? How do you monitor performance? So much more high-level strategic questions that we felt an executive at this level would need to understand and answer very well to be considered for the role. We're extremely happy with the results, but more importantly, the candidate's happy and the client company is thrilled too.